So, good evening, everyone. We would like to welcome our speaker, Madhurai Das. Madhurai Das is lead engineer and consultant agile coach at Capgemini. Madhurai would be delivering a hands-on lab session on form insights to impact, leveraging AI for data-driven decision making in agile teams. To know more about Madhurai, please check the below link. Over to you, Madhurai.
Thank you so much. I'll quickly bring up my screen. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Today, I will be talking about how agile teams can move from just collecting data to actually using the AI driven insights to make meaningful decisions. The topic I have chosen for my session is From Insights to Impact, Leveraging AI for Data Driven Decision Making in Agile Teams. Today's focus will be on how AI can transform the way we plan, prioritize, and deliver in our Agile team today. AI is increasingly becoming a game changer across the agile culture. There is no doubt about it. This particular slide highlights why it matters by looking at both the benefits and the challenges that come with having AI in our. So, on the left hand side of my screen, you can see the key advantages, which I'm calling pros. And on the right hand side of my screen are the major concerns slash cons. Now, coming to the advantages, the first one, definitely faster decisions. AI enables quick decision making during the sprint by analyzing the data and providing actionable insights. Second, better prioritization. It definitely helps the team to focus on what matters the most by ranking backlog items or by prioritizing the backlog items based on the value and the impact that it can have on our customers. Third one, improved predictability. AI can enhance the forecasting, reducing the uncertainty in project outcomes and thus helps team plan more confidently. And this is something we'll also talk about in one of our use cases in our upcoming slides. Now on the right, we see couple of major concerns. First concern, risk of bias. AI decisions can inherit biases from the data that has been used to train it. And this may lead to skewed outcomes. So we have to make ourselves aware of the risk of bias whenever we are using AI in our day to day work. Second, potential delay. Implementing AI in our team's workflow isn't just a cakewalk. it it isn't easy at first and it isn't smooth at first. There will be integration challenges at the time of implementing AI, which can cause initial delays before we actually reap the fruits of using AI or before we actually get the benefits of using AI. So while AI definitely offers speed, focus, predictability, we need to be mindful of the bias and the implementation hurdles. The key is to balance efficiently between the pros and the cons to make AI a true enabler for our agile team. Today, we are looking at why too much data can actually slow down decision making instead of improving it. This particular slide will help illustrate the iceberg effect. What's visible to us is just the tip. The real challenge lies way beneath. First one, manual interpretation. At the top, decisions rely on manual interpretation of metrics. This is extremely time consuming and prone to human bias, human errors, etc. Second, reactive decisions. Because insights come late, teams often make reactive decisions, responding only after issues arise instead of preventing them from arising in the first place. Limited visibility. Hidden patterns in data aren't always seen easily. This limited visibility means leaders and the team they miss early warning signs and opportunities. Forecasting struggles. Teams struggle with and prioritization. Without clear planning, we might be able to do it. Not we will be able to do it or we will be able to achieve it. Intelligence to backlog management as well by prioritizing items based on the business value, dependencies, the impact that it can have on the customer, the value, thus helping teams focus on what matters to the customer the most. Fifth, automated reporting. Reporting and anomaly detection can be automated using AI. Mix of intuition plus data. So that is like, that option that we have both A and B. So the option C is a both A and B. Okay? And then option D, fourth option. Your team is already using AI for automation, decision making, and other workflows, right? So I would like to request the audience to put it in the chat their responses. Okay, I see one response from Babu. He says, in his team, decisions are being taken based on data, but also, we have people who are manually interpreting the data. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Aditya says, Aditya Gar. Oh, okay. He says that, we are doing a mix of two, which is amazing. Yeah. Shruti says, based on data, but manual interpretation. Yes. Very nice. Keep the responses coming. We have to help this guy out. So, all the lovely ladies, he's such a handsome guy. Come on. You have to help him out. Yeah. Okay. Most of us are sticking to option three, which is great. A mix of intuition plus data. Very nice. Anybody else? We'll stay here for another 10-15 seconds before we, move on. Any of you would like to, share an experience, can put it in the chat for now, and we'll come back to Q&A a bit later. It's quite interesting to see all of your responses, the way you are currently, making the decisions in your team. This actually tells us that maybe this is a good time for us to think about using AI in our teams' day to day workflow. So, in the interest of time, let's move on to the next slide. But all of you, please keep your responses coming in the chat, and I will definitely read each of your messages, each of your response. But in the interest of time, I'll move on to the next slide. All right. Now, let's talk about AI driven data analysis. In order to come to this slide, before we talk about it, I would like to say that this particular analysis, let's do it with the PESTEL framework. Now, what is PESTEL framework? PESTEL. So there are 6 elements in this framework. P stands for political factors. E stands for efficiency related. S stands for social, T stands for technology, E for environment, and L legal. So we are going to use the PESTEL framework to talk about AI driven data analysis. Let's start with the first one, P and L. So these two are similar. So let's combine them in one and say political and legal factors for now. So in this context, okay, there are no significant political or legal influences as such of using AI unless and until the client is very strict about the data that we are feeding into AI. They don't want us to use Chat GPT with the client data. So unless and until that is the scenario, there is no other problem. In fact, in most of our work, AI can actually help us confirm by scanning regulatory and policy data to ensure compliance and stability. Many a times, the regulatory policy compliances we humans struggle to understand, but AI can definitely help. Next, performance optimization. AI plays a major role in improving the efficiency of the team, and this is a proven fact. It also helps in reducing the cost, the budget, etc., by helping us stick to the budget. By analyzing operational data, it can identify optimization opportunities, whether it is in resource allocation, cost control, or productivity improvements. Next, social. So, in social, we will talk about the customer satisfaction aspect. AI can definitely help enhance user experience and loyalty by analyzing customer feedback, sentiment, and behavior patterns. This enables personalized experiences and proactive engagement strategies. Next, the T, technology, which is automation and insights. AI driven automation and advanced analytics are at the core of this dimension. It can process large data sets, uncover trends, and automate repetitive tasks, freeing teams to focus on strategic work. Environmental factors. There are no environmental factors as such, but yes, there is one study by Capgemini Research Institute as well, which talks about in order to run one ChatGPT query, we are using this much energy and it pulls in this much data from the server, and the total energy that has gone can actually, power a house, for 1 to 2 hours. So there are certain, environmental implications definitely when it comes to using AI. But since now we are slowly moving into, sustainable technology front, so this is actually getting mitigated, but slowly. So there are a lot of sustainable technology offerings across the industry, which is focused on environment friendly technology. So they have certain, models to operate so that we are not consuming as much data as we are consuming now to pull one particular information from the server. Hence, reducing the impact or the damage we are causing to the environment. So, yeah, so keeping that in mind, that, there are some sustainable technology offerings out there, we can conclude over here that no, there are no major environmental considerations for now. And apart from that, AI can actually help us monitor sustainability metrics and flag potential risk even before they arise. To just analyzes data, it contextualizes it within frameworks, helping organizations make informed, holistic decisions faster and with greater confidence. Now we'll quickly skim through 3 use cases where AI has helped a lot in the agile workflow. The first use case would be the AI powered sprint predictability. This is, in my opinion, one of the strongest AI use cases, sprint forecasting. Based on historical velocity, rollover patterns, sprint rollover, patterns, and story complexity, AI can predict whether the sprint plan of the team, the sprint plan made during the sprint planning session, by the team, is realistic enough or not. Whether the team will be able to achieve the sprint goal towards the end or not, right? Now, I'm not saying that, that AI is completely replacing the team as such. No, it is not here to replace the team, or it is not here to replace their power of, create making decisions as to what should be the sprint goal, or what should be the sprint backlog like for this sprint, or what should be the sprint plan. Basically, AI just helps give the team better forecast so that the sprint commitments become more stable, so that the team is able to achieve the sprint goal better, and it increases their reliability. And in turn, this will help win customer confidence. And definitely, there will be fewer surprises that occur later on at the later stages during delivery. Moving on to the second use case, AI powered backlog prioritization. Product owners often face the challenge of balancing business value, efforts, risk, customer needs, etc. But AI can actually help over here by generating a priority score for each item based on the data, usage patterns, past impact, defect severity, correlation with technical debt, and a lot. Again, over here as well, AI is not sitting and dictating decisions to our PO, to our product owner. It is just giving the PO a much stronger base or a much stronger foundation to make those decisions so that the PO is able to make better decisions for the product and for the team. The third use case, AI powered quality improvement. So, this is something all of you in the testing community would actually be able to relate. AI can analyze defect patterns, detect risky areas in the code, highlight flaky tests, and find bottlenecks in the CI CD pipelines. What does this mean? This means that teams can shift left, solve issues early instead of reacting when it reaches production. Like when it gets deployed in production, and then we have to do the whole rollback thing, and a lot of drama happens, the client is upset, and stuff like that, right? We can solve the issues early on before it reaches production during our testing phase, right? So, we testers are extremely important for the product, for the customer, because we are like a frontline defense, right? We are the first line of defense, right? Yeah. Ultimately, this helps improve the reliability and it reduces firefighting, right? Again, poll time, audience poll time. So there is a very lovely lady on my screen, and she is also, thinking about something. She has a question on her mind. The question is, how ready is your team to adopt AI in their day to day agile practices? Now, she has given us four options. Option one, they want to use AI, start using AI today at any cost. Yeah. Second option, they are somewhat ready. They like AI, but they are still a little bit, what should I say, in a confused state whether I should do it or I should not do it. Okay. Third one, not ready. They are super scared of AI. No, no, no. I will not use AI in my day to day work. I am very scared of AI. So they are, this kind of people. And last is unsure. They don't know that, oh, okay, can we use AI over here? Will it work? I don't have any info about it. I really don't know if, AI can be used or not. So here I will request all of you to share your response in the chat. Okay. How ready do you feel in your team, you know, to adopt AI in your day-to-day workflow? You can put your responses in the chat. Okay, very nice. Oh, I see lovely responses, and most of them say they are very ready, huh? And I'm very happy about it. We all should be, super excited to use AI. It reduces a lot of our effort and saves us a lot of time actually. I'm really impressed by all of you. Lovely responses. I'm so happy to see that all of you are super excited. I'll just pause here for another 10, 12 seconds just to, for all of you to share your response. Keep your responses coming in the chat. And like I said before, I'll be going through each of your responses. In the interest of time, I will move on to the next slide. Now, let's talk a little bit about continuous improvement. Now, when we say continuous improvement in Agile, the first word that would come in your mind is retrospectives, right? Retros. This particular slide illustrates how AI transforms retros, sprint retrospectives, from being opinion driven to action oriented using a very simple evolution metaphor. Now, this evolution metaphor, as you see on my screen, this is very interesting, but don't mistake this for a biology class. Okay. So, what happens is in nature, um, we see a frog, right? So, the nature doesn't give the frog directly to us. Okay, it goes through a transformation journey, right? An evolution journey. So first it will be, the mummy frog, the mom frog. They lay eggs, okay, they mature, they hatch. Then, just like we have babies, human babies, similarly, they will be, called tadpoles in biology. They will be like fishes. They will have, a small body, very cute it will be, and then they will grow up a little more, and this is the structure they will get, and finally they will evolve, grow, and become a fully adult frog. Look, okay, just like how we all are fully adult human beings, just like that. And my point here is we will talk about how retrospectives can transform, just like this frog, from opinion driven to action oriented. And the value AI brings into this particular evolution process, right? First, opinion driven. Traditionally, retrospectives rely heavily on subjective opinions. Why subjective opinion? Because we just talk about what went well, what didn't go well. Is there any, action item that we have to work on? Any scope of improvement? Very plain, very theoretical, and to be honest, very boring. And this is one of the main reasons why many people in the team don't see value in retros. But honestly, it is one of the most crucial Scrum event, retros, because it gives you a chance to reflect on what has been done. Based on those reflections, you can analyze what went well, what didn't go well, and adapt accordingly for the next run, which is your next sprint, right? So, though this theoretical data, or no, I won't call it data, theoretical opinions, okay, subjective opinions, though it is still valuable, these discussions lack actual data, actual numbers, or metrics that can lead to vague outcomes. Now, if we bring in AI analysis into the picture, AI will change the game by analyzing our sprint data, identifying the bottlenecks, meaning which are those processes that are taking more time in the workflow? Where is the team investing their maximum time in their workflow? Which are those processes that is making the team stuck at one place, right? That is identifying bottlenecks and spotting patterns that we humans often miss, but AI will not. This brings objectivity and evidence based insights into the conversation. That's when you have real conversations in the retros. Next, actionable insights. Instead of just surfacing problems that, hey, this is, something that we need to work on. Hey, this is something that needs to be improvised. Instead of just surfacing problems or highlighting problems, AI provides clear, actionable recommendations. For example, it can suggest adjusting the workload distribution of the team or highlight recurring blockers. Next, action oriented. The ultimate goal is retrospectives must lead to concrete actions. AI ensures teams leave with prioritized data backed steps that can actually drive what we call continuous improvement. Unless and until we understand properly what are the things that we need to improve upon, and unless and until that is backed with concrete actions, unless and until that has prioritization and data backing it, we will actually not learn and we will actually not be able to adapt for the next run. Right? To sum it all up, AI doesn't replace the power the team has when it comes to, reflecting on their contributions or their journey, or in short, reflections on the sprint, what we usually do in our retros, right? AI is not here to replace the team's reflection. It is just enhancing it by turning subjective discussions into data driven decisions, making retros more impactful and result focused. So, on my slide, there are a few AI tools that I have personally used with my team. Some are new, and I'll just stay on this slide for 2-3 seconds before I move on to the next one. This is just for you guys to take a look at. Okay, yeah, these are the different tools. Wow, very interesting. Let me try them. Something like that. All right, moving on. So let me walk you through a mini case study. Okay, so there's a scenario, a mid-sized agile team delivering a digital product. Okay, and they had a few challenges in their team. What were the challenges? Missed sprint commitment, poor prioritization, unclear quality issues. And as you see, the very handsome man on the in the photo also, is very stressed and upset about the team's current status, right? Now, this particular slide shows what they did in order to come out of the stressful situation, meaning what they did to solve their existing problems. Okay. Now, here we will see how introducing AI into the team helped them. AI started by automating the team's current processes. Things like backlog refinement, risk detection, and even predicting dependencies. As a result, it freed up teams' time bandwidth to focus on value delivery instead of manual data crunching. Now, the good part. What happened? Sprint predictability. With AI driven analytics, those teams now see a lot of improvement, 23% improvement in meeting their sprint commitments. Why? Because AI helped them forecast capacity and identify risk early, making planning more reliable. Next, release cycle. AI accelerates release cycles, and for this team, it made it 18% faster. How it did it? It did it by spotting bottlenecks and optimizing workflows. So teams can deliver faster without compromising quality. Customer value. AI provides clear visibility into what features deliver the most value. What does this mean? This means prioritization becomes data driven now, not just guesswork, intuition, gut feeling, no. Therefore, this has led to better alignment with what my customer wants, my customer expectations, and I'm able to win their trust, and they are now more confident with me. Team confidence, the fourth one. Finally, AI has improved the confidence in the team because they are able to now take better decisions. Their decision making has tremendously improved by integrating AI. So, when teams have predictive insights and real time feedback, they feel more assured about their choices, reducing stress and improving the collaboration within the team. In short, AI doesn't just make agile faster, it makes agile smarter. By improving predictability, accelerating delivery, and enhancing confidence, AI can help team focus on what matters most, thereby delivering customer value. Now, let's talk about a quick AI adoption roadmap for all of us. Now that we are talking a lot about using AI in our team, and all of us are very super enthusiastic, supercharged that yes, yes, today only I'll do this using AI. Yes, but we need a proper roadmap, a plan. Okay, what is that roadmap? How does this roadmap look like? So, this particular slide will outline a very practical, step by step approach for integrating AI into the agile practices. Number one, start small. I always say this, pilot AI in one area. Begin with one application. Make it your one focused application or one focused workflow. Can be anything, your choice, like sprint forecasting or backlog prioritization, anything you choose. This will help your team learn without overwhelming them. If you start implementing AI in every place in one shot, there are there's a huge probability that everything will collapse. So don't do that. I will not advise doing that. Start small. Pick one, master it, then scale. And we'll talk about scaling in this particular roadmap only. Second, define outcome. Set measurable goals. Establish clear cut metrics for defining what success means to you, your team, and your customer. Both are important. You alone, taking drums and, shouting everywhere, I'm successful, my team is successful. No, unless and until the customer is saying that, they feel that we are successful in delivering customer value, we are not successful, right? Establish clear cut metrics for defining success in your team. These can be around predictability, quality, throughput. There are so many metrics that we can talk about, and I don't want to get into each one of them. But for now, yes, metrics to be defined as per what is success in your team, right? This ensures alignment and clarity on what AI should deliver. Third, ensure data cleanliness. Validate the quality of data that you are using. Why I say this is AI is only as good as the data it uses. So if your data is not good, which has been used to train the AI model, then it will not go the way it should. What do we have to do to prevent it from happening? Verify and clean the data to ensure accuracy and reliability before scaling. 4. Empower the PO. Empower your product owner. Provide AI insights. Equip the product owner with AI driven insights for better, faster decision making. This strengthens prioritization and strategic planning. Fifth, train the team. Build AI understanding. Invest in your team's AI related learnings, Gen AI, Agentic AI, anything. Let them learn what is AI, what is LLM. All these, big words. Let your team start understanding them, learn them, understand the meaning, right? So invest in your team's learning and development. Then help your team interpret the output, AI output, and the AI recommendations. Training will reduce the resistance from your team when it comes to AI adoption. At the same time, it will build confidence in them in using AI effectively. Last but not the least, iterate and scale. Expand across, right? So once you feel you have perfected one box, now is the time to replicate the same thing in other boxes. Today I have done one, then tomorrow I'll do 5 more, then again 5 more. So now I have 10 plus 1, 11. So start scaling. Once the pilot has succeeded, gradually expand it to other areas or your team's other workflows. It can be backlog management, quality check, customer insights, etc. AI adoption in Agile is a journey. Start small, build trust, and scale responsibly. The roadmap ensures teams stay focused on value while embracing innovation. Here, I will quickly address the limitations and ethical considerations in AI development And this slide and one more slide I have, so 2 slides. And I think I am not bad on the timing. So, yeah, I think I'll be able to cover. So, yeah, 2 more slides. So, this particular slide is one of the most crucial for me, because whenever we talk about AI, we have to also talk about addressing the limitations and the ethical considerations that come with it. First one, human judgment. Always remember, AI should complement us humans, not replace us, not replace human judgment. Over reliance on AI can lead to blind spots. Teams must maintain accountability and apply critical thinking even while they are using AI interpretations or AI recommendations. Next is data privacy. Robust measures are essential to protect data privacy and security. AI systems often process sensitive information, so encryption, compliance with regulation, secure data handling, all these are non negotiables. Client will get very upset if any of their data is compromised. I personally come from banking and financial services sector. So we deal with finances. So the client is super worried, super scared about their data and super protective as well. It's important to keep the data privacy in mind whenever we are using AI. In most client environments, we cannot just use any AI tool. Even in my day to day work, I am not allowed to use ChatGPT as I please. No. If I'm dealing with client data, I have to stick to the recommended AI tools, whatever we have been provided, we have approvals for, only those. Third, bias mitigation. AI models learn from data. And if that data contains bias, the outputs will definitely reflect it. Identifying and addressing bias during the training ensures fairness and prevents discriminatory outcomes. Fourth, transparency. Trust in AI comes from clarity. Providing clear explanations for AI driven suggestions will help stakeholders understand the reasoning behind those decisions. At the same time, build confidence in the system. To sum up what we just spoke about in this particular slide, ethical AI isn't just about technology. It is about trust. It is about fairness. It is about accountability that we humans bring. By embedding these principles that we just spoke about, we we make AI our reliable partner in agile transformation. Now let's quickly discuss a very brief transformation journey framework based on everything that we have discussed so far, and this is also like my concluding slide. This slide will illustrate the flow of how AI driven insights lead to business impact through agile decision making. The first one, insights, the AI part. The journey starts with AI analyzing data to identify patterns, predictions, etc. These insights go beyond raw numbers. They highlight trends, risks, and opportunities that teams might otherwise miss. Second aspect would be the decisions, the agile team. Insights alone do not create value. Agile teams must take these insights, AI driven insights, and use them to make strategic decisions. Whether it is adjusting priorities, reallocating resources, or improvisation of their existing workflows or processes. Third aspect, impact the business. When decisions are informed by data and executed quickly, business experiences tangible benefits. What are those benefits? Faster delivery, improved outcomes, greater customer satisfaction, and a lot. This is where the transformation becomes real. So, this framework will show that AI is not just an isolated tool, it's part of a connected journey. The insights fuel decisions, and these decisions drive impact. The synergy between AI and agile teams is what accelerates transformation. Thank you, all of you, for being here. All of you have been a lovely audience, and I would like to thank Agile Testing Alliance, Global Testing Retreat, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with all of you, to present my topic, and for facilitating this session for me. It has been a lovely time I have spent. I would like to request the audience if they would like to connect with me on LinkedIn, if they feel that I can be their meaningful connection and they would want to have me in their network, please scan this QR code to connect with me on LinkedIn. And I also have my own newsletter on LinkedIn. It's called Agile Wednesdays with Madhurai. So, the reason why I call it Agile Wednesdays is because every Wednesday I publish my edition. It's a weekly newsletter, and this talks about various things about Agile. It can be high performing teams, matured Agile teams, metrics, Scrum, Kanban, Scrumban, whatever you name it, you will find it in one of my previous editions, or you may find it in my future editions. So, if you scan the QR code, it will take you to the link of my newsletter, and feel free to subscribe to it if you want to hear my perspective of Agile.
Thank you so much, Madurai. This is
Yeah.
one of the wonderful sessions. But any questions from the audience, guys? You want to ask her? We have 6, 7 minutes left for her session. By the way, it was wonderful slides, very informative, and you've done a lot of hard work in designing and also bringing insightful ideas to this entire topic. Many, many thanks, Madurai. Any
Thank you.
questions? Any questions, guys? Can I ask a couple of questions, Madurai, if you're okay?
Yeah, sure, sure. I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I guess you talked about agile teams making data-driven decisions compared to traditional methods. But in your entire, what do you call, experience on what you have done, what would be one simplest top suggestion that agile teams can make in making data-driven decisions? From the whole list of suggestions, what would be that one top suggestions, like we call that as a low hanging fruit? Like if I
Mm.
have so many suggestions and if I implement one, it is 80/20 law, right? So if I can do one,
Yeah.
maybe I can get many, right? So this is what would be your suggestion there?
Um, I think improvising that use case where I spoke about, enhancing the sprint predictability. I think that is a low hanging fruit that can be easily done. Once that is done, we can win the customer trust, the customer satisfaction, meaning whatever we are committing at the start of the sprint, we are delivering. Once we are in a good relation with our customer, that can be used as a foundation to build better things. So a low hanging fruit would be that use case, improvising sprint predictability using AI so that we deliver exactly what we commit at the start of the sprint.
Correct. Now, this is where the second question comes with reference to predicting whether this can be accomplished or not. Now, in a stable, agile world, maybe it
Mm.
is more predictable. But when we're talking about clients which are basically hyper, and especially in today's AI world, you would find many of them where they want many
Yes.
things to be happening. They want this defects to be fixed, and there could be
Yes.
potentially breaks which can happen, and there could be something which can come right in the middle of that sprint. So
Uh,
how can you basically get such a predictability done? First of all, can AI help you doing a predictability? Because anyways, these events are unpredictable. So how would you basically make it really a data driven decision? What could be the way that you can actually help bring that stability or bring that predictability to the sprint?
Okay. So first of all, sprint predictability can be brought only when there is no new work added in the middle of the sprint. Because the moment you add new things in the middle, the sprint predictability will collapse. Okay. The commitment that we made to deliver 10 things, maybe we will not be able to deliver all the 10. So it's very important. I always say this, Agile will not work with the team alone. The customer that we are working for should also be agile. They should understand the workflow in and out. Now, if the team is following SAFe or Scrum, whatever, the customer should also be understanding it well. If the customer understands that well, they will not push new things in the middle of the sprint. That is one. Second, sprint predictability improvement, like I said, will not happen if the customer is hyperactive. They also, sort of be genuine in their ask. They cannot ask us to climb the Mount Everest all of a sudden. So there are a lot of negotiations. So far, what I have dealt with, in my past and even now, the clients, they have a lot of ambition, but it is us who also need to do the, negotiation with the client. And this is, exactly what my role as a Scrum Master. I come in as a mediator between the customer and my team. I know what my team can deliver, what my team cannot do in one sprint, and I try to strike a balance. And this means I have to do a lot of stakeholder negotiation. I have to negotiate on a lot of things. If you want this, then this has to go, this has to be parked for the next. And this is where, we Scrum Masters come into the picture.
I
That's
agree.
all I'll say.
That is very well explained. Now, what is your ideal sprint duration?
2 weeks.
And in 2 weeks, can something basically break? So again, these are some things which can be, if it's a stable system, stable things going on, you can expect that, and especially if you're not gone live. What happens when your system is live, and then when you basically know that obviously it is, we have used a lot of AI in development, and a lot of changes basically can happen, a lot of things are done, use cases basically, or user scenarios when you go in hypercare or in those kind of situations, would it work in those scenarios?
I would say we have to experiment it out a little bit. Like currently, I am, operating in an environment where my team is kind of really matured. I won't say matured, they are high performing. So whatever they are taking, they are delivering. And they are on their way to be a matured agile team. So they are able to handle most of the thing. So this is again another concept in the team about whether your team is just an agile team, or is it a high performing agile team, or is it a matured agile team? So there are different stages. So it will also depend on what stage your team is currently at. If they are fairly new, it has just been, 2, 3 sprints, then all these things will not work because they are probably, figuring out issues among their own self, what they can, what they cannot do. But if it is a, matured agile team who have been through a lot of sprints, or even better, if it's a high performing team, they will actually not need the scrum masters or agile coach ka intervention in their day to day work. They are able to take their own decisions. This also, has a lot to do with how efficient your team is currently.
Very true. It makes sense. Thank you so much, Madurai. Any questions? Otherwise, I have one more question, by the way. So
Oh
if
my God. All right, yeah.
okay, so if nobody is asking, see, look,
Yes,
again,
yes,
next, it's the whole
absolutely,
idea is to make sure
absolutely.
that we make the sessions
Yes,
engaging, and we
yes,
also make sure that the next session is having few minutes to go. So I thought maybe I'll ask.
yes.
So we know that you talked about integrating AI into agile testing workflows, right? Uh, what would be the top one challenge that you see in integrating AI into testing workflows? So one single, like just like what I asked for the low hanging fruit, here I'm asking in a different manner that when you try to integrate AI into testing workflows, what would be one single biggest challenge that you see?
Mm, I think I won't say biggest challenge, but this was something even, I struggled a lot with my team. In the initial stages, now the kind of responses that AI used to give, they they either had some biases or they were hallucinating. Like, I'll tell you, in certain places, AI said that, replace this piece of code with this, okay, and it will work. But when we did that, it didn't work. So that's where, I felt that there are certain gaps in how, we are expecting the responses from AI. And this was one of the challenge. The AI recommendations, we were not able to pick up and replicate as is. We really needed someone to intervene, analyze those recommendations, and then decide whether this can be done or not. Right. So this is one of the challenge I had, but later on, team figured out a way what was wrong in, training the model and stuff like that, and things later on worked out. But this is one of the challenges. All AI responses cannot be trusted 100%. We should still use our own brain to, figure things out. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much, Madurai. It was wonderful, and the engagement at the end also very insightful. Many
Yes.
thanks. So over to the hosting team for bringing the thank you slide, and then we can call the next.
Thank you so much, Madurai, for a wonderful session.